back and get ready to have the most fun you ever had with an electronic device.
All right, everybody, welcome out to the Get On With It Sports Show. It is Wednesday, May 25th, 2022. Jersey Johnny coming at you. And with me, as always, is none other than Mr. RadioPete and Mr. Harry Lug Nutz. Say hello, gentlemen.
Hello, gentlemen.
How are you guys this evening?
Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful.
That is great. I see it's a nice, bright afternoon there in Denver.
Sure.
Absolutely. There you go. And speaking of Denver, I hear there's some stuff coming up this weekend. As a matter of fact, that's
right. There's this wonderful local Denver band called Log playing a show at the Mercury Cafe. That's right. This Friday, May 27th, at the Mercury Cafe. Log and Anonymonkey. Anonymonkey have a wonderful new album that they'll be celebrating the release of. We are supporting them. Where you go on at 8 p.m. sharp. Doors are at 7 p.m., so get there and have a few drinks. It's a benefit for Sox Place, which is providing real-world solutions to end the cycle of homelessness. So it's a great cause. And not to tease anybody, but I heard a rumor that Log will be returning to having the electronic 2x4. Yes, that's right.
Yes.
A one-string 2x4 with a pickup will make an appearance again at the show. So, look, we've got a guy playing shovel. We've got a guy playing shovel percussion. Mm-hmm. We've got grinders and belt sanders and sheet metal. So there'll be sparks and 2x4s. If we could get an endorsement from Home Depot, we'd be really happy.
Or even Tim Manteller.
Well, no, we don't want that. We don't want that. Just
no, you don't want
that. Anyway. Log, May 27th at the Mercury Cafe. Be there if you like punk, funk, and a lot of crowd interaction, then you'll love Log. I guarantee you'll at least go out of there with a smile on your face.
Oh, absolutely. There you go.
Thank you.
Hey, have you thought of has Log thought of billing itself as a monologue for this show?
No, but
have a monologue and a Anonymonkey.
We were gonna bill ourselves as Alana Miles.
Alana Miles. There you go.
Yes. No, two separate bands. I guess the show could be a monologue or Log-a-Monkey.
Log-a-Monkey.
But,
I like Log-a-Monkey.
Yeah, there you go.
Log-a-Monkey.
Log-a-Monkey. There you go.
There you go.
All right.
Very nice. Good. Very nice.
We have not. There's been no.
That's where
talk
you change that's where you change your name to Hermie Lagnarts.
That's right. And there's been no talk of us doing a rendition of We Are the World all together on stage at the end. But you never know. You never know what can happen. But we just might be doing a cover. I'll give you a hint. It's an 80s cheese pop classic. It's by a band with 3 letters in their name.
Okay.
And the song has to do with something similar to twirling in a circle.
Similar to twirling in a circle. All right, let's get the band first. Is it Yaz?
3 words.
Oh, 3 words. I think you said 3 letters.
Oh, you said 3 letters.
I did. Okay. Well, I threw you off there.
Okay.
3 words.
3 words.
All right.
In the band name.
3 words in the band name.
Pet Shop Boys.
Close.
Pet Shop
quite
Girls?
As good. No.
Pet Shop Boys. 3 words in the name. 3 names in the word. 3 names in the title of the band.
3 words.
3 words.
Not 3 names.
No, can't go there.
3
Spandau
words.
Ballet's out.
Yes, that's 3 syllables. 4 syllables.
Men at Work.
No.
Men
But
Without
similar.
Hats.
The middle word has the same number of letters as Men at Work.
Same number of letters as the word at, or the Men at Work total here?
Same. I just said the middle
word.
word.
Does it
the
say
middle,
member of
so the
medicine?
middle word has
Society.
2 letters.
Has 2 letters. Yes.
Okay, so men at work, women at home. Women at work, men at home.
Men
You're
in
not gonna
tights.
get it.
Men in tights.
Nope.
I'm trying to think of band names that have an at or an in or an is. It's not Johnny Hates Jazz.
I will give you a hint, which you should then get it. The middle word is or. O-R.
Or. Oh, Dead or Alive. Spin me round.
Go.
There you go.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. That was
There
the
you go.
first thing I was going to say. But when you said 3 letters, I went, oh, it can't be that.
There you go.
I did correct it and say it was 3
You
words.
did.
I know,
You
but
did.
by
then
then
it was
I
out of his mind. So.
Yeah,
By,
then it was
by that
gone.
you're off somewhere else.
When you said twirling, I was like, oh, yeah, that you spin me right round like a record.
There's a rumor.
Right round,
We don't
right
know.
round.
We don't know.
There's a rumor. There you go.
That'd be
That's
cool.
what I heard.
Well, once again, it would be this show right here, ladies and gentlemen. Log
That's
and
right.
Monkey this Friday,
Log a
2 days
Monkey.
from now.
I'm going
All
with
right.
Log a Monkey.
All right, cool. All right.
Excellent.
All right. Well, this week we're doing something new. We're doing, we did all of our sports talk last week. We're doing our quizzes, our top 10 list.
We're going to talk about current events this week.
We're going to talk about current events right now. Everything.
We're going to do this is what we like to call the bullshit portion of the show.
Exactly. So that's what's happening this week. But you're going to love
or the only part of the show that remotely entertains me.
contains anyway.
The good part.
The good part of the show. Here we go. All right, so we're gonna kick it off with the quiz.
The quiz.
Let's kick it off with the quiz.
Love a good quiz.
All right, let's.
I got my paper and pencil here. Or pen.
Number 2 pencil.
There you go. It's got to be
got
number 2.
My wholesale printing promotional.
Very
pen.
nice. Very nice. Very nice.
My answer is Gaylord Perry.
All right, here we go. This week is going to be we're going back one more decade. We're going back
6 submarine pitchers.
all the submarine pictures from the 1920s.
How many pitchers can you fit in a submarine?
Could we name 6 submarine pitchers even?
Yeah, probably. We thought about it. Probably. All right, Major League Baseball pitchers in the 60s, 1960 to 1970.
I don't know any of these guys.
Yeah, but you do.
I might end up being right.
You will. So I'm giving you 6. 4 got to stay. 2 got to go. Who are you keeping? Here we go. All right, write these down.
All right, come on. We're
Here
ready.
we go. Sandy Koufax.
He was horrible.
Horrible pitcher.
I'm starting the first line of the X.
There we go.
And not
Systems
in
pitcher.
his name.
Systems pitcher. There you
Not
go.
the last letter of his name.
Juan Marichal. Bob Gibson.
Oh, Jesus. All right.
Wasn't he on last week's list?
No, he was not. Negative. Don Drysdale. Whitey Ford. And foreshadowed by Harry, Gaylord Perry.
Well, at least we got.
So once
Jesus
again,
Christ, this is a tough list.
Sandy Koufax, Juan Marichal, Bob Gibson, Don Drysdale, Whitey Ford, and Gaylord Perry. There's another good 6 pitchers for you right there. Who are you keeping? Who are you getting rid of? Pete, start us out.
You know what's great about this?
What is that?
Is that, and I'm going to talk a little while so Harry has some time to look up numbers and stuff.
Actual stats.
Yeah. This list is really, I look up nothing and know nothing. So I use irrational hatred and other emotional entities to make the eliminations. Harry, on the other hand, very analytical. So we really get 2 different approaches. So I think anytime that we are even close to being on the same page, I think it's just amazing.
It is.
We are on the same page most.
I agree.
We usually have at least one.
Last couple weeks you were right in there. I think there's one pitcher over the last couple weeks that you 2 weeks ago and the week before that because we didn't do a list last week.
All right. All right. First, I'm going to get rid of Don Drysdale because I don't like the sound of his name.
There you go.
Don.
He's not wet enough for you.
Yeah.
He's too dry.
And I'm going to get rid of Whitey Ford because
you don't like the Yankees.
Well, he's racist.
God.
So
all right, so you're keeping Sandy Koufax, Juan Marichal, Bob Gibson,
Koufax, Marichal, Gibson, and Perry.
There you go.
God, this is just impossible this week. I mean, look, wow.
Difficult list.
Come up with some really tough ones.
I mean, look,
as we've been getting farther back, it seems they've been tougher.
Yeah.
But Whitey Ford, Bob Gibson, and Sandy Koufax have to stay. I'm going to get rid of Gaylord Perry just because I mean, the question is, wow, this is really tough. I mean, maybe Don Drysdale, 295 career ERA with 209 wins. But Marichal was just dominant.
He was a monster.
I mean, we all know Ford, Gibson, and Koufax can't get off this list. I think it's got to be Koufax, Marichal, Gibson, and Ford.
Yeah,
tough to leave Don Drysdale and Gaylord Perry. Just tough. Yeah, that's my final answer.
There you go. So Koufax, Marichal, Gibson, and Ford. No love for Don Drysdale from either of you tonight.
Well, I love him. Juan Marichal just had a better career, but not by much. No. But I mean, I don't think anybody on this list, with the exception of maybe Gaylord Perry, had a career ERA over. Because he played a while longer, but I think if.
All right, is he freezing for you now?
He's freezing for me. Did he freeze for you?
Yeah, he froze for me.
So
I didn't hear the number, a career ERA over something.
Yeah.
Oh, Gaylord Perry is the only guy on this list, I think, with a career earned run average over 3.
Over 3, yeah.
Isn't that crazy to think about?
That is crazy. Yeah. Very
All right,
good.
so there we go. Once again, we have a match.
We have a match. There you go.
And only because I figured Drysdale is going to be one of those long career guys.
Well, we have one match, 1 out of 2. Yeah,
right. That's what I mean. Put up a lot of numbers and stuff.
You got rid of one of the best pitchers in the history of the game.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
But he was a Yankee too, so
there you go.
In my defense.
Well, there you go. In your defense, that's why you picked him. There you go.
Yankee.
All right, fair enough. There you go.
Tough.
All right.
Yeah.
Good listening. There you go. So, all right. Sounds good. Sounds like a plan to me. Yeah. So now let me ask you a question.
Yes.
I just gotta ask you. Going forward, do you want to go back to the 50s next week, or you want a different position?
Yeah, you can go back to the 50s.
Yeah, we go back to the 50s. Why not?
Pete will find somebody he hates in the 50s.
Sure.
If there's a Yankee from the 50s, he'll be off the list.
He'll be off the list. There you go.
Probably.
So I'm not going to use Whitey Ford again. So.
Yeah. So, I mean.
Or maybe I'll put Whitey Ford on next week's list, and maybe he'll like him then.
Babe Ruth.
Well,
compared to the other pitchers,
I might go back and look at some of these guys' numbers and stuff. I'm just going on. Honestly, I'm going on. Not in the case of Whitey Ford. Obviously, that's more for comedic value than anything else.
Of course.
Well, Whitey Ford could be on this list again too.
Like with Drysdale and Marichal, I'm sure they're both great pitchers because they wouldn't be on the list. But Marichal, I just have a vague feeling that he had just a number of monster years, and I figure Drysdale is also very good, but maybe not as good. It's all very vague gut feelings.
Right.
So
I may
go back and look at some of these numbers now. So yeah, you could put Ford on next week's list. I might keep him.
I think the 50s are going to have to be some guys that we might not be. I mean, you're going to maybe Warren Spahn and Whitey Ford, but there's going to be some names. There's going to be some names on there like Bob Lemon and Lou Burdett.
Are we gonna have some cool nicknames? Maybe
I hope so.
We could do that. Yeah,
Yeah,
actually should do that one of these days. Like we did that last year.
Squeaky Spawn. Warren Spahn pitched in the 50s, right? So did
Warren
Bob
Spahn
Lemon was. Bob Lemon was a hell of a pitcher in the 50s.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Harry's getting a jump on his research.
He was.
No.
But then foreshadowing. All right.
I was just trying. I didn't realize Whitey Ford actually. A lot of these guys too didn't. Well, maybe not.
What's that?
What was going on in the early 50s? I think Whitey Ford started in 1950, didn't he, or something like that? I don't know. Doesn't matter.
It was either like 49 or 50 or 51, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
So
when did he have his best years? He must have had his best years in the 50s, maybe more than the 60s.
No, he had great years in the 60s, though. He definitely did.
Pitched till 67. But yeah, he did have great years in. You're right. Yeah, he was consistent all the way through.
This is true.
Last year was 61, 25-4.
Mm-hmm. Crazy. I hear that was a good year for another Yankee too.
Yeah, he was a.
Did he freeze for you?
Yep.
All right.
He's frozen right now. He was a
sucker.
I think he was going to say
sucker. He was a sucker. No, he's back now. He was a what, Harry?
No, he froze.
He's gone again. There you
go. Now we're seeing the flaw in the system. Now.
There you go. Well, maybe he's actually freezing for both of us, but he's actually talking because we don't know this, right?
Oh, that's true. We don't have a.
I'm talking now. Can you hear me?
I know you can hear you
now.
Now
we can. Yeah.
You can hear you now. It's very intermittent. It's very intermittent, so you can keep it going. It's fine. It's more for comedic value than anything else. So.
Yeah. There's no max headroom.
Yeah, no, you're fine.
You're just a little bit frozen every now and then.
Exactly. All right. Sounds good. All right. With us tonight. We'll do the 50s next week, and we'll move on. We're going to move on right into this week's top team. Top 10, top team, top team 10. Top team 10. Top 10. It's actually top 14 if we want to be exact.
All-time starting five and second team.
And reserves.
Miami Heat.
There you go. So we're doing the Miami Heat. Here we go.
All-time
top
best
Miami
players
Heat.
by position.
Top Miami Heat. Now, should I have done it? Now, remember when I did Utah? We did Utah Jazz, right? Should it be top Miami Heat or top Miami Heat players? Because Miami Heat is a singular word. So there you go. Top Miami Heat players of all time. There we go. So
yeah, sure.
Doesn't matter. All right. So should we do it like we did a couple weeks ago? I'll just read all the way down.
Yes, read them off.
Yeah. And then we'll talk about them. All right.
Read them off.
All right. First team starting five. Here we go. First team starting five is going to be at point guard, Tim Hardaway. At shooting guard, Dwayne Wade.
That was a tough one.
Never heard of him.
Never heard of him. At small forward, small you say? Mr. LeBron James. At power forward, Chris Bosh. And rounding out the top five starting players for Miami Heat of all time, that would be Mr. Alonzo Mourning. Mourning. Do we want to continue with the second team, or we want to talk about the top five first?
Well, real quick, I think this is the first time maybe we all agreed on the starting five. I don't think it was even a question, right?
Nope. I had Shaq as at center.
Did you have Shaq at center at number one?
Yep.
Oh, you did? Okay. So it wasn't unanimous.
But that was the only difference.
That was the only difference. Everything else, Hardaway, Wade, James, and Bosh were all the same for the four of us.
All right.
And let's go on to the I wouldn't consider that it was a huge disparity between Mourning and Shaq. Could have been either one of them.
Yeah, this is true too. All right.
It wasn't like, I'm not going, how could you put Mourning? It was this close.
I think you're correct. All right. Let's move on to the second team. Second team starting five for the Miami Heat. We're going to kick it off with point guard Goran Dragic. Our shooting guard is Eddie Jones. Our small forward, we talked about him extensively last week, Mr. Jimmy Butler, being the last throwback player, as Harry dubbed him. Udonis for power forward, Mr. Haslam. And our center for our second team, 5 players for Miami Heat of all time would be Mr. Ronnie Cycli. Yes, of the mid to late 80s Syracuse fame, too. So there we go.
The original Big White Stiff.
The original Big White Stiff. There you go.
Yeah.
Right. There we go.
Exactly fan. I am being a big Syracuse fan, but
yeah,
we had a couple of differences here. You guys had Jimmy Butler. I originally had Jimmy Butler, but I switched him out with Glenn Rice.
Okay.
For longevity reasons, and then I, of course, me not having Mourning as my starting center, he was my second team center.
Right.
And I had Cycli on my bench, and you had
bench,
Shaq.
yeah.
You guys both had Shaq on your bench,
Mhm.
and then and Harry had Mario.
Mario
Chalmers.
Chalmers at point guard, yeah.
Yep.
And
So
we both had Goran. We both had Dragic.
I mean, obviously, we all kind of had the same players with
The same players in a couple different positions.
It was just just really kind of where to put them.
Exactly.
I would say this is one of the easier lists as far as
you could say that.
Just looking at a name and going, "Oh yeah, he's on." Exactly where I'm not sure, but he's on.
Right.
And the first 5, with the exception of the difference in center,
Well, this is a team that hasn't been around very long, and when you think about it, I mean, look, they invested pretty heavily. Obviously, when you think of Shaq, I don't really think of him as a Heat player first. I'm not even sure I think of LeBron as a Heat player first.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So, but this is a team that's had a lot of success. Jimmy Butler's only been there 3 years, and he's been hurt a little bit of it. And one of those years was a truncated year. So you're right. But I just think when you look at what LeBron wasn't really around all that long either, but he just, his numbers are staggering.
A bunch of guys that were like 4 years, 3 years, 4 years,
Yep.
but they really had a big impact to where you couldn't leave them off. It was just a question of where do I put them,
Right. And they were a team that, I think in their height prior to, they were another one of those teams that perennially was battling in the second ranks of the East when the Jordan Bulls were consistently winning. Think about the series, the Knicks and the Heat and the Pacers.
Well, the Knicks
there was just so many tough role players on these teams. And, when I think of the Heat, I think of Jeff Van Gundy holding on to Alonzo Mourning's leg. I don't think of LeBron and Chris Bosh. I don't know why, because I just felt like that was sort of some sort of weird Disney fabrication that I didn't give a shit about anyway. Sort of a preconceived Hollywood, plan. But look, Tim Hardaway was the epitome of that time with the Heat.
Hardaway was a Nick killer.
Yeah, they were a tough team of guys who they were a team full of role players, much like the Knicks.
Mm-hmm.
Guys who would have pretty good years, but look, they were a team built around the big man and a point guard, and then Dwayne Wade came along, and the reason why I didn't have Shaq number one is Shaq was really pretty deteriorated by the time he came to the Heat. He was not in great shape. He was a part of that championship for sure, and I don't think they would have won without him. But he was a Shaq that was scoring 12 or 13 points a game, right. Which was the only Shaq that was worse was the Boston Celtics Shaq.
So. Well, I'll say this about Shaq in those years. He got there, and 2 years later they won the championship. Yeah. He did have great playoffs in 2006, and he did start 60 games for them, and that's really. Yeah, the only reason I gave him the first team nod over Mourning is that he was the man that year.
Yeah,
right. It was really close. But you're right, he wasn't the same dominant Shaq, but he had pretty good seasons actually there, and they finally won.
Yeah, it's true.
And I like Shaq.
Yeah. Now let's get to the bench players that we picked. Would be Mario Chalmers, Antoine Walker, Shaq, of course, and Glenn Rice.
Glenn Rice was a scoring machine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Again, a guy who seems like he played for every team in the NBA at some point, but he was great. Kind of a tweener, kind of a big, small forward.
Yep.
But
a big, small forward.
Well, he was. I mean,
It's like what's that? A oxymoron? A big, small forward.
Yeah.
Sure. If
jumbo shrimp.
Go there. But yeah, he's Miami, the Chicago, the Lakers. One year with the Knicks. Was he 1 year with the Knicks, Glenn Rice? I think so. I think of him. I think of him more with the Heat and the Lakers for some reason. But yeah, his best years was actually with Chicago or Charlotte. I'm sorry, not
Charlotte. Charlotte.
Charlotte, yeah.
That's when I think of him first in a Charlotte uniform. But
yeah,
he did what he played.
But he was on Miami before Charlotte, right? Yeah, for a long time. He was drafted by the Heat. So.
Played 6 years with Miami.
Yep.
Yeah.
Only 3 with Charlotte. But for some reason, well, that's when he was putting up plus 20 a game, I guess. So
right.
Was he teamed up with Larry Johnson at that time? Did that overlap?
No, Larry Johnson had left already by then.
95 through 98.
Sure? Oh no, Larry Johnson was there. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
right.
I think they played together for a while.
Like a couple of years before he came to the Knicks. Yeah.
Yeah.
They
were a pretty good duo.
Yeah. And the Wade James Bosch, that was really the kind of the first built super team, right?
Yeah.
As far as
what has become that moniker,
that model for guys
since,
getting together, not necessarily built through the draft and then maybe a good free agent signing or something. Just
right.
So that was sort of a new animal and maybe kind of the beginning of the complete takeover of control of the league by the players.
Gotcha.
So,
Harry, I got to ask you: is Pete moving for you?
Oh, I'm frozen for myself too.
Oh, okay. So put the heat up.
No, Pete is not moving, but he looks pretty good. He looks pretty good.
It's kind of like one of those media photos.
Yeah, he's all right.
It's just in from Pete.
There are very few good photos of me.
There you go.
This isn't a bad one.
I think this photo of you is the best by far.
All right. I'll have
I think this photo of you is the best by far.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
God,
here's the scary part.
You look like you should be on a terrorist watch list.
Here's the scary part. That could be me after several drinks or completely sober. I have the same expression. Just stupid and confused.
Yeah, but
he looks like he just hazed 5 frat guys, and John looks like he's about to pull the trigger on a bomb in the basement of the World Trade Center.
Great. That's good. I got a question.
It's a good promo photo.
I got a question for you, Harry.
Yeah.
Pete said that could be him after several drinks or stone cold sober. Which was it in this picture?
Several drinks.
Yes, several drinks.
Yes. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm going to disagree with you on that one.
There we go. And he's back. It's the same pose. I got to take a picture of this. We got to use this.
I don't know how to. I can't remember what I did before that changed the camera. This technology is ridiculous.
It's like
there it is.
There you go.
All right, here we go. Let's try this.
There we go. You're back.
There we go.
But I got a shot of it though, so it's like it's your action shot. Yeah. Oh, and he's gone. So he came back just in time to leave. He'll be back though. So anyway, that was a long night. That was the last night of EVD that we were before ESPN Radio took over our radio station we were at. Anyway, so so I guess we'll wait for him to get back and then we'll do old balls.
Sure.
Yeah, why not? There he is. Oh, I can hear you now. There he is. There he is.
There you
go.
go.
And you're moving. Hey, you're moving. All right, it's back. All right, there we go.
Get this figured out before your OnlyFans primetime hours here.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, actually, a lot of the OnlyFans is me sleeping, so not a whole lot of movement.
6 hours of footage of you sleeping.
Well, there's what they pay for, and then there's the bonus footage of me sleeping it off afterwards.
I gotcha.
Which is, a discounted rate. But for some reason, a lot of people like to watch. They fall asleep to the sound of me snoring. So, whatever works.
Very soothing.
Whatever works.
Exactly. All right. So at that point, why don't we do our anything else we want to talk about on this Miami Heat list?
No.
I mean, I think there's a couple guys on this current team if they stick around. I mean, I think you're looking at somebody like Bam Adebayo who could potentially sneak onto this list, and he's kind of a prototypical Miami Heat guy. He's a great defensive player, and
sure,
his numbers don't jump out at you, but when you watch the game, he's a difference maker. And I mean, I think that those years, the LeBron, Wade, Bosh years, they all put up some pretty incredible numbers. And Dwayne Wade will forever be the Miami Heat, I think. I don't think Jimmy Butler's got enough years left in his career for him to sort of overtake him if he stays there, which I hope he does. Gotcha. But, I mean, I think there's 3 eras of the Heat. And, look, the Heat went to the NBA Finals a couple years ago. They're a team within their limited time. They were a team that was right in the mix of the playoffs all the time, in the morning years. And then, obviously the big 3 and then, now they seem to be bouncing back and, getting Jimmy Butler from Philadelphia was, I think, the biggest steal in the NBA over the last few years.
Agreed.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, well, you look at, everybody else involved in that deal, and Jimmy Butler's come out on top.
A little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
A little bit. Just a smidge.
Yeah, a couple trips to the conference finals, at least.
At least. Yeah. All right. Why don't we get to this week's Old Balls? Old Balls. Harry, why don't you tell us who this week's Old Balls recipient is?
This week's recipient is somebody who I think epitomizes the old Alonzo Mourning era Miami Heat, and that's none other than Mr. PJ Brown. Drafted by the New Jersey Nets in the second round, played for the Nets from 93 to 96, and then in 1996 went to the Miami Heat. And, his numbers don't jump off the page. He was a great defensive player. He's a guy who I never realized he was 6'11". I mean, he always thought he was, a smaller guy. Played power forward, center, sometimes played to 3. He was all over the place. He was a great defensive guy, kind of an enforcer, a tough player who just seemed to epitomize the NBA back in those days, especially the Eastern Conference. Wound up winning an NBA championship with the Boston Celtics in 2008. He was a 3-time NBA All-Defensive second team, and wound up, averaging just under 10 points a game and almost 8 rebounds and 1 blocks. I just think that there's something about PJ Brown, and when you teamed him up with Alonzo Mourning and Tim Hardaway, he was that guy who was always just in the mix of things. He, like Ron Harper was with the Lakers and the Bulls. He was just that guy who just seemed to always get the loose ball, always get the rebound when the time was. He wasn't a guy who was going to knock down 3-pointers, but he was always tough around the basket, doing the dirty work that a lot of people didn't want to do. And then, look, he was, he got better in those years with the Heat. He was averaging 12 points at 14 rebounds, at some point during that time, and played a big part, in the Heat's run and their ability to get deep into the playoffs. He was, of course, notorious for the infamous game where he was attempting to get rebounding position and flip Charlie Ward onto a row of photographers along the baseline, leading to a brawl between the teams. So in his time, I hated PJ Brown, but this resulted in Brown being suspended for the last 2 games of the series, along with players from the New York bench who intervened, and they went on to the Eastern Conference Finals that year. And guess who they lost to? They lost to the Chicago Bulls. So I don't know. There's an era of basketball that was rough and tumble, and PJ Brown seemed to be right in the
thick of things.
Right in the thick of it. He was a troublemaker.
Right in the middle. He was right in the thick of it.
He was the thorn in your side.
He was the guy on the team. If you weren't a Heat fan, then you hated PJ Brown, and that's why he's definitely And look, he was going to retire, I think, in 2007. Came back in 2008, signed a contract with the Boston Celtics. Didn't have a huge impact, but had 10.6 rebounds in Game 7 of the Eastern Conference semifinals, and he was there and won a ring. So he's got a championship, and he retired on top. So he can thank Paul Pierce and Ray Allen for getting him a ring.
There you go.
PJ Brown, this week's recipient of the Old Balls Award.
Old balls.
There you go. All right, cool. Awesome. All right. Should we by the way, before we move on to pickleball or anything else we're going to talk about, of course, the over under. I just want to say this. I had obviously a little while ago I put up this picture of Pete and I.
Oh, please. I hope there's not a picture. No
I do have a picture of Pat and I.
Oh, no. I don't know who Pat is, but yeah.
No, it's a picture of Pat and I and 3 other bandmates.
No, don't. Please don't. Come on. This is not fair.
All right.
I don't know who this guy is.
You don't know who this guy is? All right.
No, don't put it up. Don't.
I didn't.
Don't.
I didn't. That's all right. That's all right. Well, I'll put up.
We don't need to go back too far. Our references could go back to the 80s. We don't need everything else to go back to.
All right, fine. Fair enough. All right.
We're trying to gain viewers and listeners.
Yeah. Exactly. Not lose them.
Not lose them.
All right.
I think old pictures would be a big draw for our audience.
No, old pictures of maybe like department stores in the 50s, but not of us. Top 5 department stores in the 80s. All right. What's next there, Jersey Johnny?
I believe we have an over-under, don't we?
All right.
Sure, why not?
Boy, this doesn't sound like
I might have to turn on the light for this.
Oh, God. You usually have to pay extra.
There we go.
Wow.
All right, so let me, because I gotta turn off the other light because it'll be too bright. Because this one's gonna be camera active.
There you
go. So I have shelves behind me.
We have shelves behind you, yes.
But I also have shelves here in front of me above my desk.
Gotcha.
And I have a number of pictures. There are 3 shelves. I have a number of pictures on the second shelf in frames of I have some family members, I guess. A wife, a couple of wedding photos, some of the kids when they were small.
Are they your wedding?
These are, yes.
Okay. Yeah. Not just weddings in general, like other people's, like the ones that came with the frame, the wedding.
Well, I have an album that has some other
some other weddings.
Yeah.
Right.
So tonight's over-under is how many picture frames do I have up here with pictures in them on the second shelf of my above the desk shelves here in front of me.
Gotcha.
And what's the over-under?
We're going to put the over-under at
7.5.
I'm going to go 5.5.
5.5.
5.5. Okay.
And these are all different. I think every single picture frame is different. It's not like I got a bunch of the same ones and put different pictures in it. So
I'm going to keep my streak of being wrong by going first and saying over.
You're going to go over. Okay.
I'm going to go over.
I'm going under.
John's going to go under. All right. So I'm going to pull out the old camera here. Oh,
so exciting.
Damn it. This is the camera that doesn't work. Hang on.
All right. No. Oh. Professional we are.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Yeah, but this camera doesn't work. Good night. See ya. There you go. You couldn't have planned that any better. You couldn't have planned that any better. Folks, we hope you like watching this video. And I will tell you this: if you're just listening to the audio podcast, make sure you tune into Facebook or go to the YouTube channel and rewatch this and put it on right around 39 minutes. And just unless you want to watch the whole thing and watch that segment, that was great. So,
all right,
that was pretty good. All
He's
right.
back.
Ah,
he's back.
beautiful.
He's
back
topless and his cam is working.
And you each owe me $13.
All right.
Oh, no.
$13.
This must be a loose connection.
Oh, what the hell's happening?
Why don't you take a picture with
All
yourself?
right, why don't you just pull them off the shelf and we'll count them.
Yeah, I guess there must be something wrong with this. This sucks.
Well, you can take a picture with your cell phone and just show us the picture.
Yeah, maybe I'll do that.
Now, if we were professional, we would edit this out.
Of course, but we are nothing.
Well, we are not.
We're not.
No, this is what makes us so unique.
Sure.
Absolutely. So.
All right.
All right, here we go. We got it.
You got it. You got it.
We got it. We got it.
We got it. We
All
got
right,
it.
so
we got it. All right.
So
we're going live.
We got Baby and the Horsey picture
frame.
One.
We got a little Pete Jr.
Two.
Picture of my wife and I when we were young.
Three.
Wedding picture.
4.
Picture of my wife and our firstborn.
5. There you go.
And a picture of a little baby.
There you go.
I said 7. I wrote down 7, and I nailed it.
You got it right. There you go.
One more. So there we go. So how many is that?
I said 7.
7. He did.
So there we go. So
he did.
There goes the camera.
And there goes the camera again. There you go.
This thing must have a loose wire.
I think you're gonna have to. I think you're gonna have to fix the loose wire. All right, Harry wins. It's over.
What is the overall tally on the over-unders? We need to have a season recap.
I'll have to go back to each of the
This is the first over-under that did not involve medication in a long time.
This is true. So I like that shot right there.
That's the next one.
That's the next one.
That's next week's.
I've got to only do medication every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks. There you go. All right. Cool. There you go.
There we go.
All right.
Good job.
All right. Now
guys.
it's time for pickleball.
Now it's time for pickleball.
Well, it would be time for pickleball.
I think
I don't know
pickleball's
if you
not
guys...
in season right now, is it?
Oh no, there's actually.
Is it always in season?
I do have. Oh, yeah, it is. It is. It's year round. I do have some information about pickleball, but I don't know if you guys saw my text from the other
something
day.
About ping pong or something like that.
Yes.
So now are you off pickleball and onto ping pong?
Well, no, I have to bring this up before we get to pickleball because there's a new game called Tech Ball.
Tech Ball?
TEQ Ball.
TEQ Ball.
TEQ Ball.
Oh, God. One word.
Tech Ball.
One word.
Tech Ball. Like football, baseball, basketball, Tech Ball.
You have to check out Tech Ball. Now, according to the Fit Tech website, more than 5,000 players play this in more than 100 countries, more than 100 established national federations. A lot of people play this. This is the weirdest shit you've ever seen in your life. It is basically, it's played on a ping pong table, which is bent. It's curved.
Okay.
It's played with a soccer ball. And so, of course, you can't use your hands. And you can either have singles or a doubles.
Okay.
And it's basically volleyball on a curved ping pong table with a soccer
pong. It's soccer pong.
Soccer pong.
Yeah. Although the same player can make 2 hits. You get 3 hits to get it over to the other side. The same player can't hit it twice with doubles, right?
There is singles. There is singles tech ball.
If you're singles, you can hit it, I guess, 3 times. But
okay, so I got you.
In neither case can you use the same body part 2 times in a row.
Volley soccer pong.
So you can't head the ball and then head it. You got to look it up and look at some video. Because what happens in the doubles is really interesting. One player usually stands on the side,
Mm-hmm.
and then they serve, and then the player at the end of the table hits it up to the guy on the side, and they'll either hit it twice or they'll hit it back. You can kick it, you can head it, you can use your shoulder. It's a crazy game.
This looks like something I will never play.
Yeah.
Only because it looks way too complicated.
Yeah. And it's a big court. It's like a 25 by 20 court.
The table's not very big, but the court is big.
Right. The table, I think it's probably a little bigger than a ping pong table. I don't know the dimensions, but
I don't.
It's crazy.
It looks a little bigger than looks a little bigger.
A little bit bigger than a ping pong.
A regulation
longer,
size,
at least.
Yeah.
But it's also got the tennis aspect because if you get a second chance serve if you blow the serve. It's a
piece of glass as in lieu of the net, plexiglass.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
It's a watching the doubles is a funky game.
This looks like somebody who once was okay at soccer, got stoned and played a lot of hacky sack. Somebody definitely kicked a hacky sack onto a ping pong table to think this up. That's my guess.
I think
it could be. It makes a lot of sense. Tech ball.
I don't think it's interesting, but I don't think I would want to watch a match of it. Like if you watch 5 minutes of this, you go, okay, I don't have to watch this ever again.
You're good.
Now let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
Would you watch this or pickleball? Has this taken over your what's more popular with Radio Pete right now? Pickleball or tech ball?
Well, I think it's going to be pickleball still.
Yeah, I'm going to say pickleball, yeah.
Because, like I said, and you guys are, if you're watching it now, if you're watching it being played, you're probably already noticing it's kind of the same thing over and over.
Yeah.
It's the serve, booted up to the second guy, and then there's that one touch, and then usually a header, to try and score the point. So I think it's a lot of the same moves, and it's just a question of execution. With pickleball, especially,
I think these are the same. Yeah, I think these are the same people that. I think these are the same people that pay to move tires around a gym, or
could be,
paid money to hit a nail on a hammer. I feel like but they're pretty damn athletic. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, this would definitely. And you can play it on like a hard surface. The first time I saw it, they were playing on sand.
Oh,
interesting.
But they were wearing.
Do they have a clay surface and sand and grass?
Maybe. But they were wearing sneakers on the sand. So it wasn't like a beach volleyball. It wasn't like beach tech ball. They had sneakers on.
Sneakers in the sand. Was another song back in the 80s?
I think so.
It was.
Sneakers in the sand, yeah.
So and they they switch sides after each set. There's only no more than 1 minute between sets.
Really?
It's like best 2 out of 3. The game is 12, I believe. Third set you have to win by 2. So so again, some of the sort of the tennis rules there. And then they have the edge ball, which is if the ball hits the edge of the table and nobody else touches it or anything, then that actually replay that point. And if any body part touches the surface of the table, then you lose. Then they lose that point.
Lose that point.
Yeah, they switch serve every 4 points. It's weird. Oh, and you can't touch your opponent. Now, here's the thing. You can go anywhere on the court. If they serve, if you're the side guy, let's say, and they serve, and the person at the end of the table boots it up onto the other side of the net, you can run over there, and you have to hit it back to your opponent. I mean, to your teammate. But you can run completely on the opponent's side of the table.
Well, why would you want to do that, though?
Well, if they hit the ball over there, because usually the serve is a kick, and then usually the first hit from the person at the end of the table is also a kick up into the air. But if they kick it too far onto the other side of the table, you can run into the other team's territory, but you have to hit it backwards.
Gotcha. I follow you now.
This is definitely
it's weird, right?
Well, I was just going to say this is kind of an international sport because the World Championships have the top team is Hungary. By the way, this has only been around since like 2017, at least the World Championships.
Yeah, I think there's been 3, the 16, 17, or 18
Hungary
championships started.
Hungary, Brazil, Serbia, and Romania.
There you go.
Hungary's got 3 gold and 1 bronze. Brazil's got 1 gold and 1 silver. Serbia's got 1 gold, and Romania has 1 gold and 2 bronze. So
there you go.
This is
this is
a communist sport.
Yeah.
You
also, if any part of your body goes past the net line when you're making a hit, then that's you lose that point.
Lose that point.
Yeah.
You just said you say the top team is hungry. It's like, well, you can't eat before you play tech ball. So.
I knew there was going to be
how to say it. How to say it.
Joke.
They're hungry. They're hungry for a second gold.
They're hungry for a second gold medal. So, there you go.
This episode started weak and just went downhill.
No, it's fine. I got hey, look, we talk so much about different sports. I mean, baseball, football, basketball, pickleball, tech ball. Next week we'll talk about LaMelo ball.
Yeah. Right. All right, now on to pickleball.
All right. I just love making Harry shake his head.
Not even gonna respond.
So here's the story.
LeVar, maybe.
We had questions about Kent Merker and blah 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 blah.
Right. Yes, exactly.
So
baby hands Johnson.
Baby hands Johnson.
Yeah, baby hands Johnson. So very quickly, USA
tiny hands. Baby hands or tiny hands?
I think it was baby hands.
Baby hands.
Even if it wasn't, it is.
It is now.
Baby hands Johnson.
So here's the story.
Interestingly enough, funny enough, the most popular player in tech ball is Giant Cock McGillicuddy.
There you go. There he is right there. Baby hands Johnson right there. There he
is. Quickly followed by Saggy Sack McGee.
Saggy Sack McGee.
Anyway, USA Pickleball is the governing body.
Oh,
we were looking at Kent Merker, who was playing in a non-sanctioned tournament. There are some of those too. So there is a National Championship Series, also known as the NCS. And then there is the USA Pickleball Diamond Regional Series. That's the amateur leagues.
Okay.
So they have a bunch of Diamond Regional. There are 12 regions, by the way. So they have a bunch of regional Diamond Regional tournaments for the amateurs. And then they have this year 6 National Championship Series. And then they take the gold medalists from the championship series, to get into the finals, it's a convoluted process. The gold medalists from the championship series get in, but the silver and bronze medalists go into a lottery. Same thing with the diamond regionals. So the final championships will have some amateurs and some quote unquote professionals in it. But there's these 2 different. It's insane. It's just it's really. I couldn't even figure out.
Do they start overtime with a pickle on second base?
I think they take a break and they have a pickle. They have a snack. So, but you can go to USA.
I think I need a pickle shot.
You can go for a pickleback shot. Yeah.
So here's some of the as far as the Diamond Regionals, the amateur ranks. You've got the Southwest region, the Mountain region, the Mid-South region, Middle States, North Mid-Atlantic, Great Plains, Great Lakes, Atlantic South, Atlantic, Northwest, West, and Mid-Atlantic. Oh, they said that one twice. So these are all, and this goes on basically between March and September for the amateurs, and they will be in St. Louis.
The pros.
The amateurs will be in St. Louis, yes. From the 26th to the 29th for this month. That'll be the Middle States Diamond Regional. And the pros have played in Florida. I think that was the one we were looking at. Mm-hmm. And, maybe it was Arizona. I don't know. Anyway, there was one. Oh, no, the thing we were looking at with Kent Merker, that was outside of this organization.
Palm Springs, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that was the
desert.
Miho something.
Yeah, Palm Desert, something or other.
Yeah, they just had one in Mesa, Arizona, at the beginning of April, and they will be, check this out, boys, in New York City.
Oh, wow.
The National Championship Series of USA Pickleball in New York City, the 25th through the 29th of this month. So if you want to see professional championship series pickleball.
So it started today and it goes through Sunday.
No. Yes, that's correct. That is correct.
25th through the 29th. Today's the 25th. So yeah.
Yeah. So through the weekend, I can't imagine it'll be sold out.
Is this at like a Gray's Papaya in the West Village, or where is this being?
I don't know. Let me see where it is.
It's right smack dab in the middle of St. Mark's Street, right by Tompkins Square Park.
National Championship Series. Let me see if I can find out where it is.
That'd be great if it was in Tompkins Square Park.
That would work too.
It just says New York City. That doesn't help.
That does not.
It's in the city.
Well, we'll find it.
In the city.
We'll find it nonetheless.
We will find it.
Pickleball location. Well, there you go.
Yeah, so it's going on right now.
It's going on as we speak. It's going all the way through Sunday.
It's the Memorial Day weekend's highest ranked activity.
Absolutely.
In all of New York City. I'm guessing when they say New York City, it's got to be in Queens or Staten Island.
No, it's right. It's at Flushing Meadows. It's at the USTA National Tennis Center.
Really?
Yeah, because it's pickleball and they play it basically in the front half mostly.
Well, there you go.
Well, they kind of play in the second half, but the front half of the tennis court is the no ball. So I guess it's not exactly the same dimensions as a tennis court, I don't think.
Right.
But
well, if it's on ESPN 9, I'll be watching it.
Now, here's the great part. App TV, YouTube, and there's a Facebook live stream.
Oh, well, there you go.
So if you can't get out to the National Tennis Center to see it live, or you don't want to shell out I don't know, what do you think, $8 to get in?
I think $6 and you get a hot dog.
And you get a hot dog and a beer.
And
it's not a good beer.
You actually get $6.
Well, if you pay the $12 VIP, then you get a hot dog, a beer, and you get to play a couple points.
You get to play.
You get to be an official pickleballer.
So
a pickler, as they say.
YouTube
pickler.
And Facebook live stream. So go to
$6.
apptour.org. That's apptour.org, and find the schedule. Look under events. You can find the schedule, and they have links to the live stream right there, or you can look them up wherever. Or go on out to the National Tennis Center and watch the New York leg of the Franklin. It's called the Franklin New York City Open.
There you go.
Going on now till when? Sunday?
Now till Sunday, the 20th.
I heard Stefan Marbury's competing.
I don't know if I don't think Kent Merker's in this. He's strictly
Kent Tekulve, though, might be.
Right.
Tekulve,
maybe Ken Herbeck.
Oh, there's a top 10 list.
Mm-hmm. Top 10
submarine pickleballers.
Jeff Kent.
Clark Kent.
Clark Kent.
Yeah. I think if you really want to meet some weirdos, go to the pickleball tournament.
There you go.
They're very nice people, I've heard.
Yeah. How about the pickleball groupies?
Oh, they're the best.
Mm-hmm. The picklers.
They always come.
Well, listen, there's other things you can do.
They have some dill, some Clausen, a couple of new. I mean, they're really good.
There's other things you can do with those paddles besides hit a pickleball.
They have an event every year at this. They have an event called Hide the Pickle, and if you find it, then you get to keep
what
it.
I did want to
you get to eat it.
Hide the pickleball. Well, hide the pickleball and then hide the pickle, which is that's the after party.
That's actually goes
that's
on.
The title of next week's only.
That's the only way they get people to go to this is during the Hide the Pickle.
Just put on your blindfold and jump into the fray.
Tech ball and pickleball next week.
There you go. You won't find that anywhere else.
Professional lawn dart tournament.
It's got to be one of those.
They're called jarts.
I think they've been outlawed. They've been outlawed because they're dangerous.
They have.
Well, no, they have plastic. They have plastic tips on them that are like rubberized tips now. So they don't even stick in the ground. And
cut those off and play it.
The best is when
way.
you see a bunch of guys take lawn darts out there. They've been drinking for about 4 or 5 hours. That's perfect.
Right.
That's the game you want to play while you're drinking.
The ground in my backyard was so hard that they only stuck into people. They didn't even stick into the ground.
There had to be something soft.
So you had to actually throw them at someone in order.
That's right. We hung the ring around Uncle Roy and let it rip.
There you go.
Oh, you know what? I did want to ask you guys or mention to you guys.
What's that?
The curse of Gettleman still striking the New York Giants. I know James Bradbury didn't have a great season last year, but he was released and picked up by the Eagles now.
Yep. And
he'll probably have a wonderful mess that Gettleman put him in.
He'll probably have a killer season with the Eagles.
Well, he had a pretty good season 2 years ago.
Yeah,
and not bad last year either.
No, it was all right. He had a better season the year before, but I'm just saying.
Why didn't they re-sign him? That's the question.
They released him. They didn't have to re-sign him. He was on the team. They needed a clear cap space. They would if they didn't release James Bradbury, they would not have been able to sign their draft class.
Yeah.
That's how screwed they were because of what Gettleman did as far as the salary cap goes.
I mean, he's the gift that keeps on giving.
No money.
Another year or two, they'll be out from under all that.
Yeah.
So,
just in time for Tom Brady to leave leave Tampa Bay and come to the Giants for his 50s. Hopefully Giselle really likes New York, wants to live there, and
I'm sure she's
Tom
a
Brady
model.
She had to have spent time 12 and 13 with the New York Giants.
Giselle had to have spent a lot of time in New York being a fashion model. So
the 52-year-old has just signed a 6-year contract with the New York Giants.
With new Giants.
It's all back. It's all back ended too.
Yeah.
Like Dave Gettleman Jr.
Yeah. With new Giants GM Michael Vick.
No, it'll be Tiki.
Team owner Barber.
Team owner Tiki Barber
gave his blessing to the
exactly.
And new head coach Plexico Burris. Offensive coordinator Odell Beckham is really excited about having Brady on the team.
All right.
That's all I got. That's not enough.
What do you think, guys?
Pete's obscure pickleball report this week, including tech ball.
Pete's obscure report.
I signed off 5 minutes ago, so whatever you guys want to do.
I think we're good. That was a great report, Pete. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Well, listen, we'll report on the results one of these days once it ends. And then there's still 3 more tournaments too.
There you go. And speaking of Tiki Barber, I'll be seeing him on Friday actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, WFAN is doing their entire day, all the shows, the Boomer and Gio, Tiki and Tierney, and Carton and Roberts, live from DJs in Belmar. So I will be popping down there and seeing Boomer, and I'll get another one of these with him. There you go.
Nice.
That was from a few years ago.
I heard Mike Francesa's reading a commercial on ESPN the other day.
There,
heard that?
Yeah, no, he's on ESPN Radio.
Yeah.
No, he did because it's all Odyssey, right? And he did, or actually ESPN's not, but he's done some canned spots. There's still a lot of stuff that he's read that airs on the Fan too. So it's all
I've never heard him on. It was on the Michael Kay show in the afternoon, or maybe.
Why is Mike Francesa so miserable?
I don't know.
He just seems like he's doing this, but Doesn't seem like he wants to anymore.
Well, he can't. I mean, he's not doing anything on the fan now. He's
No,
got a separate show. It's like mic'd up or something like that. He does it. It's an app. You gotta actually download the app and subscribe, and you get this and that, whatever. But maybe
I'll watch Mad Dog Russo on first day.
ESPN thing might be something new actually, because he does. You listen to the fan all the time. He does reads, and he's not there. He's not on the fan anymore. He's not doing reads. These are all like old spots that still are relevant. Whatever the commercial is, what he's reading or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Whether it's a PSA or it's a commercial that they're still hawking the same thing or whatever the advertising party was. But they're still using his voice, because once he does the read, it's owned by the people that bought it, paid for it, pay for the airtime or whatever, and the radio station, so they can still use it. So, but the ESPN thing might be something new. So,
well, if you're not at DJ's, come to the Mercury Cafe in Denver, Colorado on Friday, May 27th, where Log will be performing at 8 p.m.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, and if you're anywhere near Matawan, New Jersey, no, I'm kidding. DJ's, if you're in New Jersey. The Mercury Cafe, if you are in Denver. What's going on in Long Island on Friday there, Radio Pete?
This Friday?
Yeah.
Pickleball.
Memorial Day weekend kickoff, anything? Parties?
Memorial Day?
Amateur pickleball
this weekend.
Play-in tournament.
Yeah, no, the pros.
We kick off summer. This weekend, right? Doesn't actually start for another 3.5 weeks, but we kick off summer this weekend.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I don't. Well, let's see. Actually, my wife and son are going to Boston to watch my wife's niece graduate.
Fair enough.
And this week, Friday and Saturday, is NISMA All-State. So I will be taking my youngest over to Huntington High School, where he will be performing his solo.
There you go. That's true.
For the judge, and then we'll probably eat some junk food.
Cool. That sounds like a good day.
So, and this, for you tech guys out there,
there's more.
But wait, there's more. Hopefully, I got to find out exactly what my wife's schedule is going to be. I don't know if she's going up Friday, the graduation Saturday. If she's going up Saturday, I know she's staying over one night. Mm-hmm. I think they're going up Saturday and they'll be coming back Sunday. So I may be
making a personal appearance.
DD working our router on the night when they're gone.
There you go.
So there you go. I'll let you look up what that means.
That sounds like a fun evening. That's what
DD. You're going to be DD working router or what?
DD worked.
DD wording the router.
It's DD-WRT.
Yeah, I don't want to know. All right, I've had enough.
Well, it's an upgrade for his new OnlyFans special.
Yeah, well, I get that. I'm sure it's something technologically based. I wouldn't be doing it on a holiday weekend. Come on.
Exactly.
Well, I have a backup routers in case it needs
I'm sure you do. I have a nice router. I just need some new bits for it, but it's pretty good.
I was going to say, my bits are Funge router.
Yeah. No, this is actually a
Porter cable. Porter cable.
This is a third-party software, firmware.
Router. There you go.
So rather than going with the old factory-installed firmware, which is clunky, and this is a wonderful third-party open-source firmware that a lot of people are using.
God knows the three of us could use some firmware.
I could use some firmware.
Yeah.
All right. Well, on that note, gentlemen, you guys have a wonderful Memorial Day weekend. We'll wrap the show up for today on that note. We want to thank everybody for watching. And for those of you just listening to the audio podcast, thanks for listening. Don't forget to visit our website, www.getonwithitpodcast.com. That's getonwithitpodcast.com. And please remember, like us and follow us on all of our social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Just search for the Get On With It podcast. And, of course, all of our shows are on YouTube as well on the Logger Room channel. Remember, we go live with the video podcast on both Facebook and YouTube every Wednesday night around 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, that is. And for those of you who just want to listen to the audio podcast, you can do so on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music Podcasts, and iHeartRadio as well. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to one or more of those feeds, and you will never miss a show. Again, thanks for following along with us. Have a great rest of your week. Have a wonderful Memorial Day weekend. Be safe. Enjoy. Barbecue. Remember, do all the things you need to do on Memorial Day weekend. Watch a lot of sports, and we will talk to you next week, folks. Take care. Cheers.
Bye, everybody. Go see Log a Monkey.
That's right.
Or a monologue.
Throw that up again.
There you go.
There you go. Mercury Cafe this Friday.
If I had to choose between that and Didi wording my router, I would do both simultaneously.
I think it would be awesome. I think you should do it on stage while they're playing.
Sure, why not?
I think it's gonna be
We'll
awesome.
make room for you.
There you go.
All right, I just got to catch a flight. No problem.
That's right. You can do it. You can do it.
Yeah, they're cheap.
You can do it.
You can do it.
Do it.
All right. Good night.
Good night.
Bye, everybody.